Hello, hello. Are we live? Welcome back to A Gamer's Guide to Productivity. Today, I'm very thrilled to have Farzin Mazinani on the show. He's an award-winning author, Joyfulness Transformation Coach, and the creator of Joyful Quantum Healing. His story is one of seeking, finding, and helping others break free from emotional blocks to live a truly joyful life. So, from locking himself inside of a dark room in search of life's ultimate truth to developing a healing modality that has helped countless people, Farzin's journey is nothing short of extraordinary. So, let's dive in and explore how you can transform your life with joy today. And if you appreciate the show, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and share it to somebody who would like it as well. So thank you for joining us today, Farzin.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
And for those that may not know, what is the story that you have that enabled you to be a transformational coach?
So it goes back to my own breakthrough moments. Sometimes we have something called epiphany, the moments that changes our life.
Right.
Every one of us have those moments, at eye-opening times. So one of those eye-opening times for me was about 30 years ago when I was so frustrated about not finding the things that I was looking for. And so I ended up making a radical decision. I trapped myself in a room to find answer to the basic questions in life, the true source of joy and those kind of things, because I wasn't happy with the answers that I was getting through the books and so on, and the different paths that I went through. So I went through that experience, went to the room, closed the door, sat in the darkness, and I said that I'm gonna stay here until I get the answer. And so what happened was that after a while, you don't know if it's day or night or whatever is happening on the outside because it's all absolute darkness on the outside. You don't see anything. So I was ready to face myself and my emotions and whatever. So different techniques I used to calm my mind down and stuff. So some of them are working a little bit, some of them were not working. So after a while, I gave up. I gave up and said that nothing is working. So I was sitting there, and all of a sudden, I felt a sense of warmness in my heart. It started from my heart,
Hmm.
spread all over the body, and I started to shake and sweat badly on the outside. And
Wow.
all of a sudden, the scenery changed. From darkness, it came the light. So, what happened was the way that I can explain it is like this, because it is not, you cannot explain it with the words. I'm just gonna explain it another way. So let's imagine that you have an ice cube in your hand and you go by the ocean. You drop that ice cube into the ocean. It's still an ice cube floating on the ocean. And what happens is it starts to melt. And when the last piece is melted, it's not an ice cube anymore. It is the ocean. So the same thing happened to me.
Mm.
I started to melt from inside out. And all of a sudden, it was me connected to everything and everyone. I couldn't separate myself. So that was a blast. That was something that I cannot explain. The sense of joy that you receive when you are in that state is beyond the words. So I came out. I came out of that solitary confinement that was self imposed. I came out. And so what happened was I came out with a couple of realizations. The first one was the source of happiness is different than joy, because I was looking for happiness and I realized that happiness is circumstantial. It means that you depend upon different situations to be happy. or different people to make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
But and it has another side as well. Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're sad.
Right.
So those are the two sides of a coin. But joy is different. Joy is something that is within your heart, and it doesn't have any opposite. So it doesn't matter what situation you're in. If you have access to that joy which is in your heart, you can be happy all the time because you have that access to that true joy. The other one was the difference between knowledge and wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they different? Because knowledge is something that is acquired by the books. You go and read and study and learn something. But wisdom is different. Wisdom is those downloads that we receive. All of a sudden, you know something, and then you act on it, and you change the whole world based on that. The original idea, which is coming from your heart again. I was looking for the knowledge on the outside world. So it's like the story of Acres of Diamond. That farmer in Africa who went, sold his farm, went to just find the diamond all over the world, and
Mm-hmm.
passed away along the way. But what happened was the farmer who bought the farm was digging and found a piece of stone, polished it, it was shiny, took it to the jeweler, and they found one of the largest diamond mines in Africa in the
Mm-hmm.
same farm that the first farmer just sold to go and find the diamond. So we have that diamond within our heart. You
Right.
know, it's not far away. It's in our heart. So that was my breakthrough that changed my life.
Wow, that's so impactful. And what allowed you to start questioning the meaning of life at like such a young age?
You know, when we are young, before we go to school, we are playful. We go to
Mm-hmm.
the playground and have those games and we are happy and stuff. And then we go to school. What happens? We have to sit straight. We have to listen to the teacher. We go to the yard, we get pushed by other students. We have to do the homework, and it is a different world. And we are wondering what happened to that state of joy that I had before. And we start building those guards because
Mm-hmm.
we feel that life is not my friend anymore.
Right.
I'm living in a hostile world. I have to protect myself. So I was missing that joyfulness that I had as a child. I was wondering why is this should be like this? Is it a way that I can be in that joyful moment again, like I was in a childhood? So that was the question that I had. So I wasn't satisfied with whatever I was experiencing. So I was questioning the meaning of life, the meaning of my existence. What am I doing in here? What is my purpose in here? Those kind of questions. Nobody could give me the answer. I had to dig in to be able to find those answers.
Mm. What do you think in your experience that so many of us search for joy externally when, as you mentioned, it's discovered within?
So, yeah, we can search for joy externally, but if we have the access to the source of joy, which is within our heart, it's much easier. Life is much more fun, you know. But there are ways we can start our journey. So, one of those ways is gamification. If we be
Mhm.
able to gamify our life, just like playing games. I know that there are a bunch of gamers in here, gamer community. That is good. So I just want to talk a little bit about that aspect because that is important. So, how do we gamify our life? We don't take things seriously, so we can turn everything into a game. I give you an example. Sometimes you want to achieve something and you are trying to go hard on yourself to go through the path of hustle and grind to achieve something because everybody says that in order to just be someone, in order to do something go to your goals, you have to go through that harsh road of hustle and grind. But
Right.
I'm just gonna change the scenario in here. So
Mm-hmm.
why does everybody says that that is the only way? Because they know that in order to come out of your shell, you need to do something. And as soon as you start doing something, your subconscious mind comes in the way. Why? Because it's something new. And the subconscious mind is protecting us, doesn't want us to just do something new because it might not be safe, because it is concerned for our safety. So it's a safety mechanism. So what happens is that we all have that experience. We decide to do something useful in life. As soon as we start, there comes the fear of success, fear of failure, fear of change, and even we get sick, or a lot of barriers come. So because we are not ready, our subconscious mind is not aligned with us. So it's like a train. The train is going south. I'm in a train,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden I decide to go north. And I'm still in a train walking towards north. Where do I end up? South, because the train is going south. Our subconscious mind is that strong, a million times stronger than our conscious decisions. So we don't have much choice. We might be a warrior and go to war with our subconscious mind and even win the battle, but at the end of the day, we're going to be a wounded warrior. And so we win the battle, but we lose the war. A lot of people who want to build a business or something like that, they go through a lot of stress and anxiety. And what happens is that it compromises their health. So it is not in a good place that you are on top of the mountain of success, but you're not healthy. You cannot enjoy your success. So, but we might even lose our relationships. Why? Because we spend a lot of time on the business that we are building, and
Mm-hmm.
then what happens is that we are stealing from the time that we could spend with our loved ones. So we lose our relationship. So it's not a good place to be. And everybody says that is the only way. I say no. There are easier way. So let's bring the subconscious mind on board. How can we do that? It's a game. So let's play this game. So it's a three steps in this game. First of all, we have to know that whatever we want to achieve, we have to break it down into smaller chunks. So some people call it needle moving actions or tasks. We have to do some tasks. We can break down everything into smaller tasks. Like build when we want to build a house, we have to do the plumbing, electrical, structure, roofing, foundation, different elements,
Right. Right.
we cannot bring the whole house all together all of a sudden it's appearing in front
Correct.
of our eyes. We have to just do step by step. So
By step.
small tasks. But I say task means work, and we don't like that. Let's change the name from task to game. Then what happens? We all love playing games
Mm-hmm.
because it is embedded in us from childhood. So we all love playing games. You know, I bought a PS5 for my son,
Mm.
and then a, a game came with the PS5 package,
Right. Right.
and he spent 3 days, day and night, playing that game until it was finished. So, who can force us to do something like that as a task? Nobody can do it. But the fun of a game is something else, and you all know this. So let's change the name to game. So we have
Mm.
those little games to play. And then what happens is that before you go to sleep, you just think about the games that you want to play the next day. So
Right.
those are the little moving tasks that we just change the name to game. So you just think about a couple of those games, and then you go to sleep. What does that do? Before we go to sleep, our subconscious mind's guard is wide open.
Mm.
Whatever we put in, it gets stuck in there.
Mm-hmm.
What usually we put in? All our worries, all our fears,
The
all our
negative thoughts.
grief, or whatever we have during the day, the failures that we had during the day. We just think about those and put all those in our subconscious mind before we go to sleep. But let's change it. Let's put those little games, the fun of those little games, into our subconscious mind. Then
Mm.
what happens? We wake up in the morning, we are still thinking about those games because it is in the subconscious mind now. So the the second part of that process is the game plan.
Mm.
So the first one was uh, the game plan. The first one was game plan actually before we go to sleep. The second one is warm up. So the second one, warm up. Soon as you wake up, what happens is that we are still open. The subconscious mind's guard is wide open. We are in the alpha mode. Our brain is in alpha mode.
Mm.
So we are ready to grasp everything.
Mm.
So what do we do? The best practice. Just as you're laying down in the bed, imagine that you are playing that game.
Mm.
It's just an imagination, but you go through all the way to the end and with all the feelings. You just play that game in your mind. So that is the warm up, or some people call it mental rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
So you play those tasks to the end, the games, and then you feel that you achieved something and you are on top of the podium and you're celebrating your success and you're happy. So you go through all those emotions just in your mind. So you're putting that information into your subconscious mind again. It's two times. So you're battling with your subconscious mind. Now you just throw two punches,
Mm.
strong punches. Now what happens? The third, yeah, exactly. So what happens? The third part of this process is just playing the game during the day. And it is going to be automatic. You don't have any choice. You have to play it because you just threw those punches to the subconscious mind. So that way you just play and play and play, and then all of a sudden you are at your destination. So it is a fun process. You don't need to battle with the subconscious mind or control it. You just bring it on board with you, with yourself. So that is a third part process. In my book, I have it in 3 steps. Sorry, 10 steps, but I summarized it in 3 steps, so it's easier for people to remember. It's just game plan, warm up, and playing. Just remember those 3 steps, and you're all set.
A game plan, warm up, and playing. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. And because of this, it enabled me to really think about the fact that you really focus on, you know, shifting perspective and overcoming life's challenges and simply changing the outlook on how to look at that particular issue in order to not let it defeat you.
Yeah, that is part of the process that I do for people. So yeah, I release a lot of emotional blockages and mental blockages for
Hmm.
people to be aligned with their goals, and those are strong. They grabbing us, bringing us down. So the weights that we are carrying, everybody has more than 200 trapped emotions they carry with themselves. So
Very true.
they bring us down. And almost everybody has something called heart wall, which is
Mm.
closing our heart, doesn't let us to have access easily to the source of true joy and wisdom which is within our heart. So what I do is I remove those for people, but they have to change their perspective as well. I help them to change their perspective. How? Let me give you an example. When I ask people what is the definition of success, most people say success means reaching my goal. When I reach my goal, I feel successful. And I
Right.
tell them, With that definition, you're going to be miserable most of your life. Why? Because how many times you're standing on top of the podium in our life? Not
Mm,
many times. It's a small time compared to the whole life. But let's change the definition. If I say success means moving towards a worthy goal,
mm,
then with that definition, I can be successful most of my life. You know,
right.
change your definition, change your life, change your
Moving.
perspective, change your life. As easy as that.
Wow. And that mindset shift is so impactful, and I definitely want to know, with those individuals that are watching or listening or may be struggling to find their life's purpose, what kind of advice would you give somebody who feels lost or stuck in their search?
So the advice I can give them is that we are not our emotions.
Mm,
You know, I had another breakthrough. I can tell you about the second breakthrough that I had. So I injured my back at work, and I was feeling chronic pain for 15 years.
ay, 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 ay.
Frozen shoulder, frozen neck. So almost every week I had to go to therapy to release my neck to be able to just move my head. Something simple as that. So what happened was that after 15 years of frustration and nobody could help me with those kind of things, somebody came and said that maybe I can help you. And she said, I'm going to give you a couple of phone calls. And she called me and she released the trapped emotions that I had at the time of accident. And I became well after. And I was wondering what happened. She just did it over the phone, and all those specialists couldn't help me, and they couldn't see anything in the MRI test. And she explained that trap emotions are just the regular emotions that get trapped in our body. Why? Because sometimes we think too much,
Mm,
because we have something called prefrontal cortex,
right.
which differentiates us from animals. We analyze everything. So we're driving home and from work, and we're tired in the traffic. Somebody cut us off, and we start getting mad and start swearing and showing finger to others and stuff like that. So we do all those things, and then we go home, and what happens is that we're talking to our family about the crazy drivers on the road, so we mentalize things, and
Mm,
then it gets stuck in our body, so we carry that emotion of anger. So when we carry that emotion of anger, we are more vulnerable to get angry again and again, so we behave, it becomes our behavior. So what happens is that we all have more than 200 of those trapped emotions.
mm-hmm,
And but the fact is that we might be behaving based on those, but it is we cannot associate ourselves with those emotions. When I say I'm angry, I'm associating myself with the anger.
mm-hmm,
It's better to say I am carrying the energy of anger.
mm,
Why? Because that anger is like a stain on my clothes. When I have a
mm,
white shirt, I go out, it gets dirty, I can wash it. I'm not that dirt on my clothes, but we associate ourselves with that. We associate others with that. So we judge ourselves, we judge others, but we are not our emotions. They are not their own emotions. We can have a more deeper view about ourselves. We are not our physical body. We are not our thoughts. We are all beyond all those. And then when you realize that, you feel that you have more acceptance towards yourself and towards others. And it helps you to just express yourself better. Because what is our life purpose? Our
mm,
life purpose is to express our uniqueness. Our
mm,
life purpose is not to copy somebody else, because we are all unique spark, a unique spark. So we have to express that uniqueness to be able to achieve something. So that is, and when we don't look at ourselves as those stains, as the emotions, as our behaviors, as our thoughts, as our physical body, then we can see that we have something in our heart that we want to express towards outside world. That is something that is merging from our heart, and when we let it to come out,
Mm-hmm.
the uniqueness that we have, we are moving along with our life purpose, and everything is going to fall into place, and universe is going to support you when you're doing it.
And in regard to now some of the fun game related questions here, what would you say are some of your favorite games to play of all time and your favorite consoles to play?
So you know that is a good question. Yeah, sometimes the PS5 is good and stuff, but the thing is that I look at the whole life as a game. The whole life is a
Mm.
game for me. You know, whatever I do, I try
Life
to find,
breathing is a game.
yeah, and I try to find a
IRL.
fun element in that. I don't take,
IRL is your favorite game. That's a nice answer. That's
yeah.
a nice answer. IRL. That's a good answer. It comes out of left field. You like life is the game you like most. That's your favorite game.
Exactly.
You have the most
Yeah.
experience in this game called life.
Yeah, exactly. That is the most fun game you can play.
Wow, no, I like that. That's it. That's really intriguing.
It is, because it's all about the perspective. When you know,
Hmm.
people say that there's always a roller coaster on our life, but I say that let's enjoy that roller coaster. Let's go on that and enjoy, like the theme park that you go and you go on a roller coaster. You're enjoying that. So
Right.
the roller coaster of life, let's enjoy it then. All the ups and downs are for us to have those kind of blasts in life. So let's do it together. Let's enjoy the roller coaster of life as the best game that we can play.
Oh, nice. And I did want to give you the opportunity to let everybody know, what you do, what they can support you at, where they can go to provide you some support or to book a session.
Sure. So we might have those blockages, and everybody has. As I said, every one of us have more than 200 of those things that bring us down, and those are like blinders. When have you seen those the horse racing? So they have those blinders around the eyes of the horse. Why? Because for a split second, if the horse is distracted, they lose the game. So
Yeah,
those kind of emotions that we carry within ourselves are like those blinders.
right.
And when we have those blinders, we don't have any choice. We are on a road that we think that that is the only road that we can take. We don't have any choice. But when we start to remove those blinders, what happens that we see that there are other choices that we can pick. So then we are free to pick the things that we enjoy the most. So that is the difference. And I help people to experience that. So if you want to reduce the amount of limitations that you have and blast in life, you can go to joyfulfix.com. On the contact page, there is a quiz. So it's a 20 question quiz
Hmm.
that you can take. 20 questions. You don't need to write the answers. You just pick the answers, the closest that the you can pick. And then it gives you a score. So that score is the life quality score. When you have that score, it shows you which area of life from those four parts of health, wealth, relationship, and happiness you can focus more. Because imagine a car have four tires.
Right.
One of the tires are flat. How far can we drive with that? Not
Mm,
far.
not too
So
far.
those health, wealth, relationship, and happiness are just the four tires of a car. So we have to know which one is low, which one is flat that we have to take care of first. And
Mm-hmm.
then if you get your score, and then you can leave a voice message on the contact page of my website. It's going to be a private and secure message. I receive it, and then we book a free consultation. And I give you wherever you are in life, wherever you want to be, and the roadmap towards that. You can take it yourself, or I can help you out to go faster. So that is the simple process that we have. It's easy and it's joy. That's why my website is called Joyful Fix,
Mm-hmm.
because it's all about joy. It shouldn't be something hard or hustle or grind. Forget about those. We are here to have those blissful moments in our life. The whole life is a joyful experience when we have that.
Oh, okay, perfect. And that was so impactful and such a uplifting and powerful conversation that we have had, guys, with Farzin. Guys, his story has really shown us that even in our darkest moments, we can truly literally, you know, transform ourselves. And, there's room for growth. And I hope that everybody has felt inspired to take a deeper look within your own life and see how you can start to unlock, the joy, the happiness within. And if you want to learn more about Farzin and his work and his joyful quantum healing, the link is in the show notes below. So make sure to check that out. And if you liked it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share it to somebody else you think would also benefit from this. Other than that, take care and have a great rest of your night, guys, and keep leveling up and make sure to keep grinding.